Welcome back to the show. I'm B.E.M, and this is B.E.M Tech. So you're probably wondering what's going on here. Well, I did it. I broke down and got a mid-2012 13-inch MacBook Pro. And this is my story on me upgrading to where I want it to be. I'm sure you know all about this computer, the ports that it has, the features, the functions, so I'm not going to go over what it has to offer. Let's get into the upgrade. So what I plan on doing with this one is upgrading the RAM, the SSD, and placing the current hard drive into a caddy, replacing the super drive. So my 2012 MacBook Pro has a 2.9 GHz Intel Core i7, 8 GB of RAM, and a 750 GB spinning disk drive. So let's talk about what I'm going to be doing. I currently have, that I pulled out of a working computer, a solid state drive. It's a 250 GB PMY solid state drive. Also arriving from Amazon, we have the caddy, which will replace the super drive, where I'll put the 750 GB drive in, so I have the storage. And I also have 16 GB of DDR3 memory, upgrading from the 8 GB already in it. The caddy, I could have went a couple different routes with it. I knew I wasn't going to keep the CD drive, the DVD drive, super drive in the laptop. So I bought the caddy, and with the caddy I could have done one of two different things. If I had bought another solid state drive, I could have done it in a RAID 0 and had a much faster read and write time on the laptop. But my purpose in buying the laptop was specifically for taking on vacations and family trips and transferring over pictures from my Canon camera and save on the drive. I wanted to stay in the Mac ecosystem, the Apple ecosystem. Wasn't easily able to do it with an iPad or an iPad Pro, hence the MacBook Pro. And with my main reason being transferring pictures and storage and media, I decided I'd keep the 750 GB hard drive, move it over to the caddy, put the faster solid state drive in as a boot drive, and go that direction. So I will let you watch. This is not a tutorial. This is not a step-by-step. This is me opening up my MacBook Pro and putting in the components to get it where I want it to be. So with the super drive out, it is now time to work on getting the hard drive out. There's a couple things you need to save off the super drive. Basically, it's a clip in the front and a couple screws. That just helps secure it in place once you're done. And the attachment piece. So super drive out and installing in the caddy. You do need to take the screws off the side of the hard drive. You're going to put those on the solid state drive, and that helps secure it in place. And then the little wedge piece, the screws help hold it in place. The wedge piece secures it in place. And as for the other hard drive, it's a matter of dropping it in, putting it in position, and then screwing in the screws that are on the side into the side of the hard drive. Alright, with that secure, we can focus now on the memory. It's as easy as popping them out. That bottom one's a little hard to get to with the battery in place. But once it's out, all you need to do is put it into the same direction and make sure it's secure and push it down. So we're going from 8 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes. Connect the battery back up and we'll put it back together. Everything back ready. I have my USB stick with Mac OS Mojave on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase both the hard drives just to reformat them in the right proper format and to ensure that there's nothing on them, because like I said, the solid state drive I pulled out of a working PC, and the 750 gig hard drive has already Mac OS on it. So we're going to format both those, and then we're going to install Mojave on the solid state drive. So with Mac OS installed, let's take a quick look about this Mac. And 16 gigabytes of RAM installed, excellent. And under storage we have the 200, doesn't show up as 250 gigabytes. There's the 16 gigabytes RAM. And under the storage was the 750 gigabyte hard drive as well. Everything looks good. Let's run some tests on it before and after for you. First one we're going to do will be Geekbench. Went from a 32-bit to a 64-bit, so slightly different test. Left one, of course, is before. Right one is after. So 2808 on the 16 gigabyte, 3335 on the 16. Well, the 8 gigabytes left, 16 gigabytes right. 5984, 6784 on the upgraded one. Next up, let's run Cinebench. Same procedure. And for our final test, let's go ahead and look at that boot up time on the solid state drive and the SSD upgrade. And the upgraded Mac, I'll say about 25 seconds. And the original i7, 8 gigabytes, 750, spinning hard drive, booting up into desktop, with the icons. I'd say about 50 seconds. So we cut that boot time in half with a solid state drive. Not bad. So overall, with the price I paid for the 13-inch mid-2012 MacBook Pro i7 and my upgrades being the 16 gigabytes of RAM, the solid state boot up drive, the 750 gig storage drive, I'm fairly happy with it. We'll see over time how it performs for me, but for what I wanted it for and what I need it for, I think it'll be more than enough. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.